Hello and welcome to Tête-à-Tête, France 24's flagship interview show. Our guest this week is Omar Alieu Touray. He is the president of the Commission of the Economic Community of Western African States, known as Ecowas, and he joins us from the headquarters of the regional bloc in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So ECOWAS is just turning 50. However, three of its members, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, have formally withdrawn from the regional bloc in January. So this begs the question, is ECOWAS facing an existential crisis?
ECOWAS is celebrating its 50th anniversary today. And during these 50 years, we have been able to create a market for 400 million people, integrate 400 million people in a single market. We've been able to create a single space for the 400 million people of the region. And we have done a number of regional projects that today constitute the pride of the entire region. Certainly, in recent months or in recent years, we've had some challenges which are quite difficult challenges. But I don't think those challenges constitute any existential threat to ECOWAS or to the region.
Well, speaking of those two countries, at the last summit of heads of state of ECOWAS, it was decided to keep the door open to them until the end of July. We're nearly there, 2 months away. Are you still hoping that they will come back into ECOWAS, or do you think this is now mission impossible?
I think West Africa, we are bound together. We might have our difficulties, and perhaps we may not attain certain objectives within the time frame we all hope to attain those objectives. But I remain optimistic that West Africa will remain together.
So this means that by the end of July, there will be no compromise for them to come back. You still hold out hope for the future, but not for this end of July deadline, correct?
ECOWAS leaders are committed to regional integration, and we are of the view that we all win in being together. So I don't see ECOWAS leaders making it difficult to reunite with our brothers and sisters at any time. So yes, there is this proposal to keep the door open up to July, but I don't think ECOWAS leaders will keep the doors closed.
The Prime Minister of Senegal, Ousmane Sonko, was just in Burkina Faso, and over there he vividly criticized ECOWAS for its handling of the coups in the Sahel, saying sanctions, military threats were a mistake, and that more fundamentally, the coups were caused by the organizations not treating all countries on an equal footing. What is your response to this criticism from the Prime Minister of an ECOWAS country?
I think the leaders of the region may have different perspective, and this is the beauty of ECOWAS. The different perspectives can be brought around the table so that they can make us better. They can make ECOWAS better. The views of the Prime Minister, I think, are given with the objective of enhancing ECOWAS, because he has made it very clear the commitment of the people, of he himself, of the government and the people of Senegal to regional integration. So if from Prime Minister Sonko's perspective, there are better ways of handling situations, I'm sure he'll bring this to bear and bring this on the table so that ECOWAS can benefit from his perspective and get better going forward.
What do you make of the criticism from the leaders of the three countries we spoke about, who say ECOWAS is a dysfunctional club of heads of state, and it is in the hands of Western colonial powers, first and foremost France?
if that is the perspective that some have, I think the best thing is to bring that perspective around the table so that some clarifications can be given, some misgivings can be cleared. So it is not a question of me saying whether certain pronouncements or positions are correct or not. I just think we all have our rights to have our views, but I think those views can be shared so that we have a better community, because this is a community we cannot run away from. It is a geographical space that we cannot migrate from, and so it is in our collective interest to make it better.
Right, but just to clarify, you don't get your orders from the French president. As
president of the ECOWAS Commission, I report to the heads of state. I don't report to heads of state of ECOWAS. I don't report to any other authority outside ECOWAS.
I also want to go back to the case of Niger. We're nearing 2 years after the coup that overthrew President Bazoum. I vividly remember that ECOWAS threatened a military intervention to restore the constitutional order. It wanted President Bazoum to be freed. Nearly 2 years later, the junta is still there, and President Bazoum is still in jail. This is clearly a failure.
Well, as you can see from the various reports and communiques of the summits, the communiques have appealed for the release of President Bazoum, and it is still the position of ECOWAS, to the best of my knowledge. Now, what you call a failure, I don't know whether I will call it a failure, but it is certainly an objective we are working towards, appealing to the government of Niger to allow the former President Bazoum to get his freedom.
The junta in Mali has decided that there will be no elections in the foreseeable future, and also to ban all political parties. What is your reaction to this latest development in Mali?
As you know, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have taken the sovereign decision to leave ECOWAS. So there is nothing I can say officially about the decisions that decisions that countries that are not members of ECOWAS have taken.
France left the Sahel region, and those countries claim that they are fighting jihadist groups with the support of Russia. But we're seeing fighting going on in Mali, especially in Burkina Faso, but also in neighboring countries like Benin. How worried are you about the spread to neighboring countries, including ECOWAS countries, of course, of this terrorist threat as we speak?
It is a major source of worry for us because we believe this unity will make it difficult for us to collaborate to fight insecurity, including terrorism. So this is why I think ECOWAS leaders have taken the decision to work together to continue the collaboration. Even if the three countries have decided to stay out of ECOWAS, I think there should be a way for us to collaborate to maintain regional peace and security, because individually it would be difficult to fight the insecurity that we are all facing. And this is a message we would like to send to all our partners, that West Africa welcomes partners to help us develop and remain secure, and above all, maintain our unity.
And this includes Russia in terms of partners?
ECOWAS leaders are open to partnerships that help us attain our development objectives as well as our unity and security.
There's been a lot of talk about setting up a regional counterterrorism force. Are we finally about to see it happen?
Oh yes. We've had a meeting of our chiefs of defense staff not long ago, about last month, and countries have indicated their preparedness to contribute troops. And our ministers of finance and defense ministers are expected to meet before mid-June, so that they will determine the source of funding for our regional counterterrorism force. But what is most important for us in particular is Resolution 2719, if I'm not mistaken, the new resolution by the UN Security Council that will allow peace support operations to be funded from UN resources. We call on our partners. We want to express our appreciation to all the partners who have made that resolution happen. And we call on them to make sure the implementation of the resolution does not get bogged down by political wrangling. So certainly our regional standby force and our regional efforts to fight terrorism are in full gear, and certainly we are making a lot of progress here.
Just a very last question. There are elections scheduled in Ivory Coast. There's a lot of tension about the degree of openness of these elections. Some of the main contenders are saying they're being excluded. Given the past history of this country, are you concerned that the election could become violent in Ivory Coast?
I think any election is always a source of tension, not only in West Africa, but I think within the continent. What we want to do is to appeal to all the stakeholders to maintain calm and to make sure their actions are in accordance with the law, and then to follow the due process in everything that they are doing. So this is our appeal. We get worried when the law is not respected. But as long as the law is being followed and the due process is being followed, I think we take heart and remain encouraged.
Omar Alieu Touray, I want to thank you very much for being our guest here on France 24 from Abuja in Nigeria. And thank you all for watching it. Stay tuned for more news.